Today's topic is diversity and representation in gaming and why it matters. Gaming can be an amazing source of escapism as we are transported to fantastic universes filled with endless possibilities where we can live out our wildest dreams. There is something to be said about gaming that is grounded in reality to a certain extent. I'm referring to who is Player 1, the identity of the character. As gamers, we travel into the unknown, save the love interest, demonstrate resilience, bravery, and so many other characteristics becoming of a hero. The positive role models portrayed in gaming are walking embodiments of all things that are good while remaining grounded and fallible. It is only natural to want to see ourselves represented in and as these characters, not just behaviors, but also appearances and identity. Growing up as a young Puerto Rican, every fictional hero and role model that I idolized or aspired to be like didn't look like me. And when a character did look like me or shared my cultural identity, it was portrayed in a negative fashion. In other words, people that look like me and are like me are the villains to Player 1, never the hero. Societal norms, standards, and expectations of the world are changing in dramatic and surprising ways. These sweeping changes are being represented in gaming, which has culminated in diversity as to who is Player 1. African American, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, Muslim, LGBTQ+, and so many other underrepresented groups are finally living in a world where we are Player 1. We are the heroes of the story. Seeing the Puerto Rican flag hanging on Miles Morales' fire escape during the gameplay reveal trailer literally brought me to tears. This is the first time that a half black, half Puerto Rican has ever been the main character. To see myself and my identity represented in this character meant so much to me. I know that I am not alone, as I saw a plethora of similar emotional responses as expressed throughout social media. Not only does representation matter as it pertains to seeing yourself represented in these amazing characters, diverse, positive representation plays an important role in exposure, as well as combating racism and other forms of discrimination. The unknown is often something that is feared. Not everyone in the world has the great blessing of being able to live in a community that is diverse. So, the level of exposure to a variety of different groups of people outside of their bubble is limited. Couple this with negative portrayals of underrepresented groups in media, this can lead to racist thoughts, stereotypes, and gross misconceptions. Exposure and representation matter to combat these issues. I would like to point out some notable games that have made meaningful attempts to portray underrepresented groups. But let me preface by saying that throwing in a character from a marginalized group simply for the purpose of checking a box is equally as disrespectful as leaving them out entirely, especially when the inclusion of these characters are fake, not fully developed, or their identity is defined by this singular trait, be it sexual identity, race, or other. Some noteworthy instances of diversity and representation come in the form of Last of Us Part 2, which features a lesbian protagonist by the name of Ellie, and even a supporting character who plays a pivotal role in the story who happens to be transgender, who goes by the name of Lev. Last of Us Part 2 does not stop there, but also portrays Abby as a physically strong and muscular woman, as opposed to an overly sexualized representation as is so often used to portray women in games. Prey and Infamous both feature Native American protagonists. Miles Morales is Black and Latino. The latest Avengers game features Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel, who is Pakistani American, gaming's first Muslim lead. We have even seen representation in the realm of individuals who struggle with mental health, as was so masterfully portrayed with Senua, the female lead of Hellblade. This celebration of humanity is not limited to gaming, but has penetrated all forms of art. One notable example outside of gaming that I think is worth mentioning is Marvel's The Black Panther, a film with nearly an entirely black cast, a celebration of blackness. young African American boys and girls were able to witness a strong, thriving country led by Black individuals, kings, queens, soldiers, scientists, and intellectuals. This film portrays Black women as strong, independent, fierce warriors. The women in the film have darker complexions, short hair, or no hair at all, features that have been used historically to degrade women of color. Yet this film teaches a generation of young Black girls that they are strong and beautiful. Representation and diversity in gaming, as well as all forms of entertainment, matter. Art can change the world. Let's continue to walk down this path so the world can be a better place. I am so grateful and overjoyed that you are here with me for my first video. If you enjoyed this content, please share and subscribe and comment down below with your thoughts. You are witnessing the beginning of what I suspect will be a beautiful journey. Always remember, with great power comes great responsibility.